sprinted down to the 10, and he is letting referee land havoc. You can't take your helmet off on the field of play the way he did.
No, you can't.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, oops, the refs did it again. They played with our hearts, and we got lost in the game. But it's been another week of suspect play calling in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. People are betting their hard-earned dollars on this game. Hearts are being broken by different fan bases, and they're losing faith in the NFL. We're going to break down the latest and probably not the last episode of another NFL team being robbed in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs, they got saved like that last year, for real, though. And the Eagles in the Super Bowl, for real, though. If we been for real. Then they come back and get saved in the Jets game. Man, maybe because Taylor Swift was in the building. I don't know what's going on, but
things got way too egregious last week in prime time between the Chiefs and the New York Jets, and it did not help that we have the Taylor Swift thing in the background. She was in attendance at that Jets game, and everybody saw it. Everybody flipped out when they saw the holding call on Sauce Gardner. This was a ridiculous call. Yeah, he had his hands on the guy, but it did not look like there was a hold there. This was a critical 3rd and long, and it gave the Chiefs a fresh set of downs. Robert Saleh was absolutely heated during the game, lost his mind against the referees, went off on them, and then Robert Saleh ended up getting flagged himself after complaining about the officiating. And Patrick Mahomes, he was on the radio trying to act like it was a fair call. Everything's great and just.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you get your hands around the guy's neck at like 15 yards downfield, they're going to call something. If it's going to be holding or illegal contact, it's just not allowed. So I was trying to, once I saw him grab him, I threw it up there to give Marquez a chance, kind of knowing that the flag was going to come. So, I mean, you could see it. You could see it from my position. And, I mean, I understand people want to let teams play and stuff like that, but you can't get your hands around guys' necks like that.
Of course, he's not going to complain if he's benefiting from the outcome.
Talk about the holding call on Sauce Gardner.
I'm not going to comment on that. I've already...
Is that what you were upset about when you called for the penalty?
And Sauce Gardner of the New York Jets made it clear on social media that if he was a Swiftie, maybe the refs wouldn't have thrown the flag. The reason why he made this comment is because it's not just that Taylor Swift is allegedly dating Travis Kelce and attending the games, but you had the NFL after that Jets game change their bio. The Chiefs are 2-0 now that they're Swifties. Yeah. Meanwhile, most fans don't give a shit about Taylor Swift. We just want you to call a fair game so we can decide whether or not we should bet our money on it.
come back and get saved in the Jets game. Man, maybe because Taylor Swift was in the building. I don't know what's going on, but.
And another big call in that Jets game was the non-holding call on a pass rusher of the New York Jets. You had Donovan Smith clearly holding here. You saw some people try to justify it. Oh, he has his hands inside on the pad level. No, there's several times where you can see him have his hands on the outside, and even so, number 11 is trying to get away from the offensive lineman, unable to because he is being held. That is against the rules and allowed Patrick Mahomes to convert on a big third down. It really just helped the Chiefs overall. Look, I'm not taking anything away from the Chiefs too. The Chiefs probably still would have won this game aside from those two calls. Who knows? But things like this just piss fans off, and it makes them lose faith in the NFL, lose faith in believing that these games are fair. And after the Jets game, you would think the refs would not be so egregious, but no, against the Vikings this week, it was absolutely ridiculous. You had a Vikings fan pouring his heart out online, so upset, and it went viral, over 1 million views on X. If you ever wondered if the NFL fixes games, you don't have to wonder anymore. Today's Chiefs-Vikings game was a complete sham. I'm just blown away at how many rules were broken, how many blatant missed calls there were, and I just don't know what to think anymore at this point. Trust me, dude, you're gonna be all right. As a Raiders fan, we're always getting screwed over. You'll get used to it, especially when you're in the Chiefs freaking division. Everybody was posting memes about this game. You had a ref with Patrick Mahomes. The ref is saying, "I got you, bro." They're good buddies. What was so crazy about this game was what was not called in the beginning. It was a close matchup between the Vikings and the Chiefs. In the beginning of the game, though, it almost looked like the Chiefs were going after Justin Jefferson. He ended up leaving that game with an injury, but you had L'Jarius Sneed with some hands to the face. Very obvious here, fouling Jefferson. This was not called. And I just felt like they were being rough with the guy the whole game, trying to take him out of it. There were more situations when the Chiefs were on defense, blatant missed calls, illegal hands to the face, some face masking there, but the refs refs just couldn't see it. And it went too far and reached a tipping point at the end of the game when it matters. And keep in mind, these flags only matter in critical moments. People say, oh, the Chiefs had technically more penalties than the Vikings. Dude, if you got some penalties in the beginning of the game, not on a critical play when it doesn't matter, you're going to be good to go. You're going to be fine. It matters in situations like this for the Vikings where they had to convert on 4th down here. 4:49 left in the 4th quarter. Kirk Cousins throws it up, and there is obvious holding there from L'Jarius Sneed. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. Everybody's looking for the flag, and you had the referee actually throw the flag. They did actually throw the flag. This would have had the Vikings at 1st and goal right there on the 1-yard line, able to punch it in and tie the game and make it a more competitive and a more fun game.
There is no foul for pass interference.
Really?
But instead, the referee decided to pick up the flag. Apparently, there was no holding there. Everybody was absolutely livid. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Vikings, absolutely lost his mind, and he could not believe the situation. And it wasn't only that. It would be one thing if it was just that. But on top of it, when the flag was originally thrown, L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback of the Chiefs, he got upset. He took his helmet off. When he was talking to the referee. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. That is something that is called all the time. You're not allowed to do that. And the reason why we know that that is such a unanimous rule that everybody knows is because the referee gave the Chiefs player a little tip, said, hey, can you put the helmet back on? Hey, dude, I got to help you out. Put the helmet back on. You don't want everybody to see you on TV with all these cameras around on international television, picking up the fact that I'm not throwing a flag when you got your helmet off. But hey, we all caught that referee helping that Chiefs player out. So it was not only getting screwed on that holding call, but they picked the flag up after originally throwing it and then helped the player out on the unsportsmanlike conduct, all happening in just one play. There are numerous situations in this game that are suspect. It happened obviously last week against the New York Jets, and we've seen this with the Chiefs a lot historically. That's why you had Tyreek Hill talk about how the Chiefs have been getting helped out. If we're gonna be real, bro,
they got saved like that last year for real though, and the Eagles in the Super Bowl for real though. If we been for real, then they come back and get saved in the Jets game.
Tyreek is also claiming that the Chiefs were helped out against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And look, I've seen this several times watching the Chiefs in the Mahomes era, and that's not to take anything away from Mahomes. Mahomes is a great quarterback. Chiefs have a good team, but we know these games in the NFL are close. Anybody could get beat any given Sunday, and it just seems like when the Chiefs are about to finally get beat, when there's a chance that they could finally get an L on their record, the refs come in and help them out. Hopefully this stops soon because people are going to stop betting on these games. They're going to stop believing these are fair games. In the NFL officiating crisis, the script narrative is funny for now, but it's starting to become much more evident that it's a reality, and I think they're going to have to do something and shake up officiating at some point. We'll keep you up to date on our favorite stories around the NFL on this channel. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss the next one. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.